If you want to be a millionaire, you can do it. But there's a couple things you have to be able to accomplish.
Yo, Nez Nation, how you doing? Very recently, Mark Cuban, one of the most successful entrepreneurs that's ever existed, just gave an interview and talked about his top 4 rules on how you and I can get to that financial mastery and wealth that he possesses. Now, I have run many, many businesses. In case you don't know who I am, a lot of them have failed, but obviously the last 10 to 15 years, a few of them have succeeded. And I'm going to share my analysis. I'm not quite at the level and status of Mark Cuban. Hardly anybody is. But I think you're going to get a lot out of this as I contextualize this for most businesses and small businesses. You're going to get a ton out of this. So without further ado, let's get right into rule number 1.
Rule number 1. Find something you can be good at and then be great at it.
Okay, so this is really actually important. And kind of, I want to look at these as like, are these just kind of like your wishy-washy kind of run-of-the-mill advice for becoming a millionaire that really doesn't lead to anything? We're going to take a look at that too. So his first kind of rule is find something you're good at and then be great at it. That is absolutely true, because running a business, running a successful business is a long-term endeavor. It's very rare that any business in the first, I mean, I know there's all sorts of stats on this, get any profits in the first year to 5 years even. So if you're going to really sustain yourself over the long haul, it's super, super important that you really decide on starting something that is worth your time, because your time is everything. And he talks about a lot about time in the interview. And, you know, it's going to take a ton of hard work. So if you're just doing it for the money, or you're just chasing status, or whatever you're kind of chasing, it doesn't come from what I like to call the epicenter of who you are, something that doesn't electrify your innards, you're going to burn out faster than a cheap candle at Walmart, because this is a long-term deal. It just is. It's going to take a lot of time and an absolute, ton of hard work. That's just a fact. If you pick something that you're good at and you become great at it, not only will you want to become great at it, but you'll sustain yourself on those days where you don't see any big ROI, or you don't see any big return on your investment. So this is actually a really, really amazing tip. I completely love this first one. Okay, let's go to number 2.
Second, you have to know how to sell. Whatever.
Okay, I love this one. Okay, this one is huge. You have to know how to sell. Holy mackerel. The most underutilized, the most undervalued. I don't really see, I used to teach in the university level in the public sector as well, before I really quit and went full-time on my businesses. They don't teach this in universities and schools either. The ability to sell, we have this negative connotation on what selling means, and it has to be thrown out in the garbage. It has to be completely discarded. If you can't sell, I want you to look at this from a new perspective. It's not necessarily selling. Don't think used car salesman in the plaid, suit coat with the snake oil vibe. It's not that. It's really, here's my new definition of sales. Sales is communicating your solution to somebody who has a problem that fits that solution with clarity and ease of understanding. It's all about communication. I don't care how good your product is. I don't care how good your service is. You could be the next Steve Jobs. You could be the next, Sam Altman. You could be the next Mark Zuckerberg, whatever. You know what I mean? You could be the next Mark Cuban. It doesn't matter how good your product and service is. If you can't get that across in a powerful, clear, concise manner, it means squadoosh. The ability to sell is everything. Let's hear what Mark has to say about this. I'm sure he'll add to this.
Whatever it is you're good at, somebody's going to need that service. Someone's going to need that, whatever it is that you're creating. But you have to be able to sell, because you don't want to be in a position where you're dependent on other people. Number 3,
love it. Be
curious and always be learning.
Okay. Be curious and always be learning. So, some of these you might think right off the surface, how does this help me become a millionaire? Be curious and always be learning. What do you mean? You've heard the saying, what comes after pride is a big downfall. If you think your stuff doesn't stink and you think you can rest on your laurels and just get away with what you've known your whole life, the university is a perfect example of this, which is why COVID exposed this. There's a sorely criminal almost neglect for innovation in the university system, especially in North America. I'd love to hear your comments, by the way. Let me know if you agree, disagree, what your thoughts are on that. Being curious, curiosity is probably the cornerstone of every successful creator, innovator, somebody who's done something that others thought was unachievable. Achieving the impossible is done by the curious ones. And the ability to be curious, stay interested, stay engaged in what's happening in the climate of the times, what's happening in the climate of your industry, what's happening in your specific niche is everything. And learning from others, thinking that you know it all. You know, one of my favorite sayings and something that's stuck with me and always I try to remind myself is this great line by one of my great teachers, Shunryu Suzuki, who said, in the beginner's mind, the world is full of possibilities. In the expert's mind, the world is full of zero possibilities. If you think you're an expert, if you think you know it all, you're headed for a downfall. This is huge advice. You need to be curious and you need to always be learning, not just from a sort of deeper kind of macro level, but even in the actual fact that everything is changing so fast. I mean, the world is operating at such a rapid breakneck speed that what you knew a year ago, let alone 5, 6, 7 years ago, is completely obsolete now. Okay, let's see what number 3 is. Or are we on number 4?
Because the one thing that's certain about business is that it changes every single day.
I just said that.
And then the fourth thing, when you have that knowledge, when you have that ability to sell, when you know that when you walk into a room, you know your shit better than anybody else in the room, that's when it's time to start a company. Then you can start to control your own destiny.
Okay, so number 4, then it's time to start a company. So not everybody has the, DNA, and not everybody has the temperament to run a business. Okay, I've been running businesses since I was 13. I helped my mom start her leather shoe business when I was just a young teenager. I've run many businesses in my 20s, 30s. Now I'm in my late 40s, and I've got several online businesses that I'm running that are very, very successful. It's a tough gig. You need really, really tough skin. Running a content business, running a content channel, running a media company, it takes unbelievable perseverance. But what he's talking about is essential. You notice how he doesn't mention all the cool things you can buy and all the boats and yachts and chains and watches, or et cetera, all the materialistic fruits of your labor. What he's talking about is freedom. I have worked for other people before. I have worked for people who were the most toxic human beings I've ever met on planet Earth, and they controlled my destiny. The beautiful thing about having all these skills and these top 4 rules, not only does it give you skills that you can apply to pretty much every facet of your life, but starting a business has never been more accessible now as of this recording, and I'm sure it's going to become even more accessible. If you're watching this in 2043 or 2093 or 3093, leave a comment. I'll somehow see it. But on a serious note, it's never been more accessible. It's never been more popular. The creator economy is burgeoning. It's just beginning. And so that freedom that comes with the fact that I can get in front of a camera, not shaven, and, I dropped my kids off at school. I got inspired and I can create a video and I don't have to answer to anybody, is one of the most beautiful. I'm going to cry right now. It's literally the best thing that's ever happened to me. The ability to dictate my day-to-day, the ability to not have to answer to anybody, the ability to block off my schedule and be like, you know what, I'm not going to talk to clients. I'm not going to work with anybody. I'm not going to create any media. I'm going to take my kids here. I'm going to take my family on vacation. The ability to do that and not ask for permission is priceless. So I absolutely love these top 4 rules by Mark Cuban for the Millionaire's Playbook and the Millionaire Formula. There's a lot of good stuff in there. And if you're interested, become a ProfessorNez.com VIP insider. What we talk about here on this channel is helping you monetize your skills, experience, and creativity in the creator economy. Like I said, it's never been better. So make sure that you become a VIP insider. There's a link in the description, link in the pinned comment as well, or you can just go to ProfessorNez.com/insider. Thank you so much. I want to hear from you now. What did you think of these 4 rules? Which rule really resonated with you? Which one do you think that you're going to like, you know what, that one kind of hit me, or you know what, I don't think I like this one. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. I respond to all the comments personally, and don't go anywhere. I've got a ton of other videos. Go check out these other videos coming up next that are going to help you with your brand, help you with your business, help you with your content, help you with everything you need to monetize in the creator economy. I'll see you over there.